You're watching Ringside Wrestling. Alright guys, before I start off the video, I just want to say last night there was no Raw review. That was because I was actually at the show and I wasn't watching the show on television, so it was a very different program for me. I wasn't watching the commercial breaks, I wasn't watching the commentary team, so I wouldn't be able to fully analyze the show. Therefore, there was no Raw review. You should go watch other Raw reviews. I actually did that myself. I went and watched other Raw reviews, but it was a very good show last night for me. When I went to the Barclays Center and watched Raw live, it was very fun chanting with the New York crowd, as you can all assume. It was an okay Raw last night, but it was more enjoyable for me as I was there because I was with a live audience, and it is much more fun with a live audience. Trust me, it's an unbelievable feeling being around other wrestling fans. Trust me, it is fun. So I wouldn't be able to analyze the show the way I wanted to. So therefore, last night, there was no Raw review. Sorry for that, but there will be a Raw review next week, so stay tuned for that next week. Alrighty guys, Joel Perez here of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment, and notice that today there's an intro. Why? Because Smackdown is pretty damn good, and I'm not gonna come here complaining. I'm not pissed. We got a good show, and a very well needed good show after the shit show that was SummerSlam. So we got a good show tonight, and I'm pretty happy for that because the Smackdowns as of the past few weeks have been pretty shitty, and tonight we actually saw the advantages of a 2-hour show. Tonight we didn't even need to see names like Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin, and that might be a downside, but they were able to maintain the flow and the pace of the show pretty well. It was a pretty damn good show, and we didn't even need to see those names. And no, retards, the intro doesn't count, where we see Crews talking to Rhino and Baron Corbin, for some odd fucking reason, talking to Eric Rowan. I don't fucking know that, but that doesn't count as seeing them. They weren't in an actual role in the show. But it was a pretty damn good show, and we didn't even need to see these top names like Corbin or Crews. And that's pretty damn impressive. I hope to see them next week. I want to see them next week. The fact that they didn't do anything tonight was a shame, but it's pretty impressive if you think about it, that they were able to maintain a show like that. And I hope next week we see them, but they gotta keep it up. And if they can keep it up for the next couple weeks, SmackDown might just become the better show, because SmackDown does have the advantage now, if you ask me. With Raw, the injuries, no Sasha Banks, no Finn Balor. So Raw is on a downward spiral, if you ask me. No Paige, which could have come in handy against Nia Jax or something, I don't know. But SmackDown, for now at least, does have the advantage, especially after a show like tonight, if you ask me. Raw last night, if you were watching it from a television, was pretty okay. For me, it was better than okay. I had a fun-ass time last night, but that's beside the point. It was a very good show, and I'm glad they were able to maintain a show like that. Let's get right into what we saw here tonight. The show starts off with a backstage segment with Apollo Crews giving props to Rhino and Baron Corbin. Again, I don't fucking understand why Baron Corbin was talking to Eric Rowan. What? I gotta chuckle out of that. Just seeing Baron Corbin. I thought this guy was the lone wolf. Kind of broke character there. That's pretty sucky if you ask me. He was talking to Eric Rowan, and it looked like he had an inspired look on his face, like he admires Eric Rowan or something, I don't fucking know. But anyways, AJ Styles walks in saying he is now the man who runs the place after beating John Cena, and he even puts John Cena's wristbands on his head, so that's pretty funny. Or is it his armband? I don't fucking know, same shit. Dolph Ziggler is in the corner with his head down, pretty sad, I guess, or angry that he couldn't get the job done against Dean Ambrose at SummerSlam. So of course AJ Styles starts poking fun at Ziggler, and Ziggler just starts going apeshit. He just fucking bam, 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 just starts beating the shit out of AJ Styles, and of course, Apollo Crews and Rhino have to break it up, along with Baron Corbin and Eric Rowan. So that's your intro, setting up events for later tonight. We see AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler later in the night for a #1 contendership at the WWE Championship. Well, not really. AJ Styles had the #1 contendership. It was if AJ Styles loses, Dolph Ziggler gets added to the match and it becomes a triple threat. But if Dolph Ziggler loses, he's not in the match at all. So AJ Styles had a guaranteed World Championship shot, so that's good. And all the shitty intro music plays, and we immediately see the new women's title and tag team titles, and that's some very interesting stuff there. The women's title actually looks better than the Raw women's title. I'm not gonna say that these are beautiful looking titles or even good looking titles, because I hate the WWE Championship design that they're using for every single title besides the United States title and Intercontinental title. I hate it. It fucking sucks. It's a horrible design, and that just proves evident in the Universal title. But I'm gonna go a little easier on this title. It does look better than the Universal title, and at the same time also, the Universal title is a new World Championship. I expected this to be a unique design. This is a World Championship, so I'm going to have higher stakes, higher qualifying points for the Universal title. I don't know if I should have used the word qualifying points, but I'm going to have higher stakes for the Universal title. The Universal title should be the best looking title in your company. The WWE Championship looks like trash, and there's nothing you can do about that. But with the combination of a horrible name that is the Universal Championship, along with that horrible belt design, Jesus Christ, what the hell. So, and the tag team titles is pretty much the Raw tag team titles, but with the silver plate and blue wristbands. With the blue strap, there it is. Okay, fuck you. Anyways, a 6-pack challenge is announced for Backlash for some odd reason. Why a 6-pack challenge? Why can't we just see Becky Lynch versus, I don't know, no, not Natalia. Becky Lynch versus, I don't fucking know, because we saw Alexa Bliss. Why couldn't we see Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss for this women's title? I don't fucking know. Or Nikki Bella versus, I really don't know why we saw Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch, but it was a good match, I'll tell you that much. So a 6-pack challenge is announced. So Nikki Bella, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Natalia, Alexa Bliss, and who the fuck was the other one? I forgot who the other one is. Carmella? I don't know. Did I say Carmella? No, I don't think I said Carmella. So Carmella, Naomi, Becky Lynch, Natalia, Nikki Bella, and Alexa Bliss. There it is. So a 6-pack challenge is announced between the 6, and I really don't like these types of matches. They're just fucking spot fest. I don't know if it will be an elimination type 6-pack challenge, because I remember back in 2010 I think it was elimination based, but the one they did a couple weeks ago on Smackdown, Dolph Ziggler just needed to pin somebody and that's it, the match was over. So maybe this one will be elimination based. It will certainly help fill time at Backlash, because I'm sure their card won't be stacked, because how are you going to fill a 3-hour show with a roster that's been filling 2 hours for the past few weeks, and barely been filling 2 hours for the past few weeks? But for the tag titles, an actual tournament is announced, so that's more exciting. Why didn't we see a tournament for the women's title that culminated at Backlash? I don't fucking know. But there was a tag title tournament announced for Backlash. So before they could say anything else about this tournament, which did start tonight, by the way, Heath Slater walks in out of nowhere and tells Shane and Daniel to give him a contract so he can win one of those titles. Daniel, and I actually got a chuckle out of this, Daniel tells Heath, "You're not equipped to be a women's champion, sorry to break it to you." And Heath says, no, I don't want the women's title, I want those tag team titles. And Shane tells him, "You don't have a partner." And Shane and Daniel tell Heath that if he can find a partner by the end of the night, you can enter the tournament, and it will be an 8-man tournament. who will be that other team, because as you all know if you watch the show, the partner is Rhino, which they could have found somebody better than Rhino. Come on. Ty Dillinger was my pick. Why couldn't you put Ty Dillinger with Heath Slater? Or even a Bo Dallas and reform the Social Outcast, but more serious this time. And not call him the Social Outcast. I mean, what type of name is the Social Outcast? But, I mean, you could have done something better. I don't fucking know. But that was just a shitty move if you ask me. To put Rhino, but at least it gives Rhino something to do. It gives Heath something to do, and now I'm excited to see who the 8th team is. Who will be that team? Will that team get the leg up on Rhino and Heath Slater? Will that team be? I'm thinking it's Crime Time because of the WWE.com report that came out a couple weeks ago saying the hottest free agents, and they list as Crime Time, so I do think Crime Time will come to Smackdown. And if you do keep Heath Slater and Rhino as a tag team for the long term, that's interesting right there. You'll have 8 teams on Smackdown, and that will actually be a viable division if you ask me. But I don't fucking know. I don't know shit, right? AJ Styles comes out in the middle of this segment, and he's bickering and saying shit, and before he can say anything significant, Dolph Ziggler comes out of nowhere, and just starts beating the shit out of AJ Styles, same way he did before the tag teams break them up, and we go to commercial break. We come back from commercial break into Becky Lynch versus Alexa Bliss. Natalya and Naomi are sitting at commentary, and I really didn't like the end of the match. You have Alexa Bliss tapping out to the Disarmer. Alexa Bliss shouldn't have lost here. Should have been broken up by Natalya and Naomi and ended in a DQ. Shouldn't have let Alexa Bliss take a loss like that. It was a very fast-paced, fun, great match while it was going on, but it was very short. And Alexa Bliss shouldn't be taking a loss yet, especially by tap out. Okay, if she's getting pinned, I can understand that. I would still be complaining about it, but I can understand that. But still, come on, tapping out? Alexa Bliss now looks like, well, she looks less than she did before. She looked much better before she had a tap out loss. Naomi and Natalya, as I said before, should have jumped in, but it was a very good match, and it shows how talented these two women are. It was a great match while it was happening. A backstage segment where I really didn't like this segment. I really didn't find anything in it. It wasn't something that I would say it's painful to watch, but it just wasn't anything special. Heath Slater comes in, tries to talk to the Miz. He says, "Will you be my tag team partner?" Miz is saying all this good stuff, and it's revealed that he was just talking in a Bluetooth, apparently to Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg would never want your ass. You're probably a horrible actor. I haven't seen any of your straight-to-DVD movies, but why is WWE trying to build up Miz as this fantastic fucking actor when the only movies he's been in are WWE's retarded fucking straight-to-DVD movies? What the fuck? You call that a movie opportunity? Shut the fuck up. Bullshit. Miz's gimmick barely works. How are you gonna have a gimmick based upon WWE straight to DVD movies? Bullshit. So apparently Steven Spielberg was talking to Miz about being an Indiana Jones. Fuck you, Miz. You do not look like Indiana Jones whatsoever. You fucking asshole. The tag tournament starts with the Ascension versus the Usos. And if it were me, I would have had the Ascension go over here. It was a fucking phenomenal match. It was a phenomenal match, don't get me wrong. But, I mean, I'm fucking tired of these Usos, especially as face. If you turn them heel, they would be much better. But the fucking Usos just are stale as fucking corn. Turn them heel, they'd probably have some flavor in them. But, I mean, the Ascension is such a great team. This was a fucking great match. This was an NXT style match. And why am I calling it NXT style? Because the main roster style fucking sucked. So it was a nice freaking match. They gave it its time. They gave a lot of matches its time, which was surprising to me. I didn't expect that to happen in the modern day WWE that we live in, where nobody gets their time, but they were given time. The Ascension looked impressive in defeat against the Usos, and I mean, the Usos won, but it still is an impressive looking tournament from what we got tonight. The Usos won, American Alpha won later in the night. Spoilers, I don't give a fuck. But, I mean, why didn't you put the Ascension, the Usos versus the Hype Bros, eliminating one of the face teams? Right now we have two face teams in the tournament. Are you going to have both heel teams win next week? Are you going to give a win to the VOD villains who are in the tournament next week? I don't know against who, probably against the Hype Bros. And who are you going to put Heath Slater and Rhino against? Are you going to put Heath Slater and Rhino against the Hype Bros and give the Ascension the mystery tag team? Or are you going to give the mystery tag team to Rhino and Heath Slater? I don't fucking know. It's going to be interesting to see how they work that out next week and conclude the tournament heading in to Backlash. So, I don't know why they didn't put the Usos versus the Hype Bros or something, because it would have eliminated a face team, because right now we have two face teams. I don't fucking know. So, throughout this match, this is horrible. They're horrible. JBL just starts talking about David Otunga's wife. He's like, and he's talking about The Miz. Is The Miz in this fucking match? No, I don't think so. So why the fuck were you talking about The Miz? So he's talking about The Miz, and he's like, why don't you call your wife and tell her to get Miz an opportunity in Hollywood? What the fuck does this have to do with the match? And this went on for like 2 minutes. They were bickering at each other for 2 minutes. What the fuck? Get these two retards off the fucking commentary team. I don't want to fucking see these motherfuckers anywhere near commentary ever again. They are fucking horrible. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. AJ Styles comes out again, but before he can say anything, the crowd starts chanting AJ Styles. That's pretty good. He replays what he did at SummerSlam, beating Cena in the middle of the ring. He's wearing Cena's armbands on his arm. Just a little notable thing here. He says he did what he was gonna do. He beat up John Cena. Oh, good on you, Styles. He says you don't have to be John Cena fans anymore, because you can be AJ Styles fans. And trust me, I've been an AJ Styles fan the whole fucking time. So, I got you covered, Styles. He says he should be #1 contender for the WWE Championship, and he damn well should. But Dolph Ziggler comes out. Dolph comes out, and there are immediately referees surrounding him because they think he's gonna go and beat the shit out of AJ Styles again, and he probably was on his way to do that. But Daniel Bryan comes out, and he's like, enough! And he sets up a match between Dolph and AJ, giving us our main event. And I was very excited for this main event. It was making me excited to watch the rest of the show. It kept me hanging on to the rest of the show. And the stipulation is, as I said before, if Ziggler wins, he gets added to the triple threat at Backlash. If not, Styles, Ziggler's eliminated from the triple threat, and it just becomes a one-on-one between Styles and Ziggler. More Kurt Hawkins facts, promos, play, whatever, I don't care. Kurt Hawkins is going to go in, become a jobber. Trust me, for those of you excited for Kurt Hawkins to make his debut, you're a fucking retard and a casual, because Kurt Hawkins is just going to end up in the same place that Jinder Mahal is in, jobbing out to guys like Neville. Well, Neville deserves to win. Neville deserves to win, of course. But he's not going to do anything significant in the WWE. If they do, I'll be the first to admit that I'm wrong, but more likely than not, they're not going to do anything with him. Carmella versus Nikki Bella never happens. Never happens. And I love what happens here. This is when the show starts getting good. Interesting, it's an interesting pairing in this match, Carmella versus Nikki Bella. And they dub this as Nikki Bella's return to the ring. It's big. Renee Young, starts to interview Nikki. And before Nikki could say anything, Carmella just brutally attacks Nikki. They just nails Carmella on the head. Carmella is now a big-time player for SmackDown. Carmella turns heel, and SmackDown Live gets that heel they needed. Now they have Carmella, Alexa Bliss, and Natalya. They got great heels on SmackDown, and now they have Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, who is going to be face, who should have returned as face, but they put her with the heels at SummerSlam because they needed somebody to take Eva Marie's place, and it was Nikki Bella. So now you have 3 faces and 3 heels, and the division, it balances itself out. I still want to see more women in the division, but still, it was a fantastic move. It gives Carmella that character she fucking needs. Carmella, I can guarantee you, would get stale as fuck. She probably was getting stale as fuck already. She would get stale as fuck as a fucking face, and it would be cringe-worthy fucking mic skills there. But Carmella as a heel, I see it. It oozes from her character. I see Carmella as a heel being very successful, maybe even future women's fucking champion. Cannot wait to see how they thresh out this Carmella heel turn here. I am very excited to see what they do. And Nikki turning face, I don't know how that's gonna play off on television. It could be fucking horrible dialogue from Nikki. She could be one of those cringe-worthy faces like Randy Orton. Jesus Christ, is Randy Orton bad on the mic when it comes to being a face? Carmella hit a reverse STO and a Bella Buster in this segment, and I like this side of Carmella. As I said, I love it. I love it. Okay, next segment, Randy Orton. That segment got me pumped there. Randy Orton comes out. Randy says he would rather have the match at SummerSlam end any other way than how it did. At SummerSlam, that match shouldn't have ended. I'm sorry. Finn Balor should have ended. And, or Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose even. And give Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose like 10 more minutes. That match should have went 25 minutes. 15 minutes was just horrible. But 25 minutes, it would have been a classic, I could guarantee you, if you would have gave them more time. And if you would have put them last or second to last. But Randy Orton versus Brock Lesnar should not have gone on last. But before Randy could say anything else, and they did show the staples, it looks pretty brutal. Damn, and they showed replays and all that good stuff. But before Randy Orton could say anything else, oh my god, the Eater of Worlds, baby, Bray Wyatt comes out, and oh my god, was there a smile on my face. I turned off all the lights, and I turned on the flashlight on my phone. That's how hype I was to see Bray fucking Wyatt come out to a big time feud with Randy Orton. Bray says he saw the look in Randy's eyes change when Brock Lesnar was brutalizing Randy. That's what I'm gonna call it. He was brutalizing Randy. Randy got fucked up in that match, and it was quite hilarious, if you ask me. Bray says he saw the look in Randy's eyes change, and that Bray says that Randy showed that he was just a man, a great man. I don't know why Bray Wyatt would call Randy a great man, but he says you're just a man, a great man, but a man nonetheless, and that Bray Wyatt is a god, and a god is unstoppable, and that in due time, Randy will see. That due time is in when is Backlash? 2 weeks? That due time is Backlash. Can't wait to see Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt at Backlash. Gonna be an action-packed match, and the card for Backlash is looking phenomenal. No pun intended to AJ Styles. It's gonna be phenomenal if it continues this way. Backstage segment with Shane McMahon getting interviewed. He is asked if he thinks Stephanie took matters seriously. Shane says no, he doesn't. He says that she only fined him $500. I think that's what he said. I wasn't really listening. And that his problems with Brock are far from over. And I'm hearing that Brock Lesnar versus Shane McMahon is being rumored for a Royal Rumble. Excuse me. Jesus Christ! Imagine that. Shane McMahon versus Brock Lesnar. I mean, who else is Brock Lesnar gonna go against? But Shane McMahon is a fucking bold choice. I don't know about that. I would love to see how that match would play out. But Shane McMahon versus Brock Lesnar, wow. I would love to see that unfold on my WWE television. I don't fucking know how that would transpire. I think Shane would get his ass handed to him. That's pretty obvious, but I would love to see Shane McMahon step back in the ring again. Shane McMahon, his match with The Undertaker, I wouldn't say it was excellent, but it was definitely an entertaining match, and I would love to see Shane McMahon get back in that ring and do something fucking crazy. Maybe it could even be a stipulation match, I don't know, but I cannot wait to see if these rumors are true. Royal Rumble's gonna be a big pay-per-view for WWE, especially if they can handle it right. I don't think they handled it that well last year, but this year. We're still in 2016. But can't wait till 2017. This hasn't been exactly the best year for wrestling, but that's just me going on a rant, my dumbass, right? So Heath Slater is seen presenting his ideas to Arn Anderson. Arn Anderson is so Heath Slater is going through a list of Anderson's former tag team partners. Anderson pretty much tells him, "You're no fucking Ric Flair," and he walks off. So Heath Slater, Arn Anderson fucking just drops a bomb there, and before we know it, Rhino taps him on the shoulder, and they become tag team partners. As I said before, they could have done something way more interesting. Rhino, at least Rhino has something to do now, and he's not going to be just floating around the show. But, they could have done something more exciting, more interesting. I guess Rhino is a interesting choice, but I would have much rather seen the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger. Not today. I would love to see him debut, but not tonight. Breezango versus American Alpha. Fantastic competition in this match. They really made Breezango look like a threat here. They gave them their good 10 minutes here, and it was a great fucking match. A great fucking match in an NXT style. Again, I'm gonna say NXT style tag team match. American Alpha was obviously gonna win here, but they really made it seem like Breezango had a chance, and I love how they're making these tag teams seem like they actually have a chance in this match, because there is a way you can actually look good in defeat. It's called giving them their time and making it a back and forth action-packed matchup, and that's what this was here. American Alpha, of course, had the advantage the whole time. Not the whole time. It was a back and forth match, but they were leaning towards the side of the advantage. But Breezango did look like a viable threat here, and that's all I wanted. I would have loved to see Breezango advance in the tournament. Obviously, me being myself, loving Tyler Breeze, loving the in-ring skills of Fandango, but just not something we saw here tonight. Breezango still needs to get a little more serious in that ring. They still don't have a very serious gimmick, but for now, they're doing very good, especially after such an action-packed matchup with American Alpha. I loved what they did in that ring tonight. And I don't fucking know what the fuck this segment was. Whoever booked this segment, I said this on Twitter, whoever booked this segment was on something here. Dean Ambrose walks into this backstage segment with a fucking hat. You know that, I don't know the name of the fucking character, but you know that character in Looney Tunes? He was from the Wild West. I don't fucking remember what his name was, but he had one of those huge fucking hats, and he said he came there from the casino. What the fuck? I don't know. He had just found out about the match, and he's asked by an interviewer backstage what he thinks about Ziggler versus Styles, and he doesn't give a fuck. Are you serious? The WWE Champion should give a fuck. But he doesn't seem to care. He comes up with a ridiculous response, and whoever booked this segment is fucking retarded. If you ask me, I don't fucking know. What the fuck was that? It was ridiculous. But whoever booked that segment is an absolute fucking retard. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with them, but what the fuck ever. Let's ignore that shit ever happened. AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. You already know how I feel about this match. Dean Ambrose comes out to commentary, and Dean Ambrose was actually better on commentary, leaps and bounds, ahead of Otunga and JBL. And if your own superstars are better on commentary than these fucking retards that are Otunga and JBL, you already know. Get these motherfuckers off my commentary team. I'd rather see fucking Mauro Ronaldo go solo all the shows for all of history and Smackdown time than I would fucking JBL and Otunga alongside Ronaldo. Oh my god, they're just fucking horrible. But a fantastic match between Ziggler and Styles. Styles wins via the Styles Clash, of course. Did you expect any less? People were saying on Twitter, Ziggler might actually have the chance here because if he doesn't win this match, what's he gonna do towards Backlash? I don't fucking know what Ziggler's doing towards Backlash. That's a question proposed. If Ziggler's not doing anything towards Backlash, then I'm fucking pissed. Ziggler should be doing something, especially after the amazing match he had tonight. But Styles kicked out of a zigzag, and I don't want Styles to be this guy who kicks out of all these finishers. They need to stop that immediately. Styles shouldn't be kicking out of too many finishers. In his matches, he's going to become a Roman Reigns. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Last night, at SummerSlam, he kicked out of fucking a Super AA. For the purposes of that match, it was impressive, but I just don't want Styles to become this guy who kicks out of everything. But after the match, Styles goes to ringside and throws Dean's headset off his head, and I expected this to fucking kick off Dean and an all-out brawl ensues. That would have been a fantastic way to end SmackDown, but no, they have a stare down to end a freaking great SmackDown Live. Very good show here tonight, and I'm glad to be saying it was a very good show because it was a fantastic freaking edition of SmackDown Live. But until then, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. Go check out my SmackDown and Raw reviews of last week, and remember, Raw and SmackDown reviews will go back to normal schedule next week, or Raw reviews will go back to normal schedule next week. Stay tuned for anything else I have scattered throughout the rest of the week, and leave a like if you want to see NXT reviews on my channel for tomorrow, actually. So leave a like if you want to see NXT reviews every week on my channel. I'm considering doing that. I don't know if I should, but if you guys would leave a like, that would allow me to know if you guys want to see NXT reviews from me every single week. So make sure to like, comment, and if you haven't fucking subscribed yet, what's your problem, man? I don't fucking understand you. But for now, this has been Joel Perez of Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. Thanks for watching this. Almost forgot, go check out my SummerSlam review. It was a heated fucking review, and it took me 2 tries to get it perfectly. But go check out the SummerSlam review. Very action-packed stuff there. And I am now officially out of here. Thanks for watching this video.